This is the Sam Houston Coaches Show, presented by HEB, live from True Texas Barbecue. Let's join the voice of the Bearcats, Carlos Zimmerman.
And a pleasant good evening, ladies and gentlemen, live from True Texas Barbecue inside HEB. How we doing tonight? Let me hear from you. Come on. Go. Welcome back to the Sam Houston Coaches Radio Show here inside HEB on 11th Street in Huntsville. I'm your host, Carlos Zimmerman. Joining me to start it off as we always do is the head coach of Sam Houston men's basketball, head coach Jason Hooten. Coach, how are you?
I'm good. How are you tonight?
Doing very, very good. Glad to have you as always, Coach. Let's just dive right into it. As always, an opening statement from this last weekend. Big win over Utah Tech. A tough loss to Southern Utah last Thursday. Just your thoughts on how this last weekend went.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't go 100% the way we wanted it to, obviously. Would like to have gotten a split on that road trip. But anytime you can, a sweep, anytime you can get a split, it's hard to win on the road. And I thought our guys really bounced back on Saturday and played very energized and, together, and it was a good victory and not just a close game. I mean, we pretty soundly won that game, and I was looking for that, just to see us go out and finish, and especially on the road. It was a good feeling for sure. And, Thursday night was tough. They have a really good team, hostile environment. It was their first day of school. Their students were there, and they had a pretty good student section there behind our bench. So it was great. I mean, that's what it's all about. It's what college basketball is all about. And I just don't think we played our best. I do think they have a really good team. But, it's definitely a game I look forward to having them back when they come to Huntsville.
Absolutely. Looking back at Saturday's ball game against the Trailblazers of Utah Tech, the energy started to find its rhythm there halfway through as you guys began to turn the tide in that ball game. What was your message to the guys during those timeouts whenever the energy started to pick up a bit?
Just the same. I mean, we know what we need to do. That's one of the good things about having older guys that have been there is, they know what the expectations are. They know what they need to do well. And, I think our team is as good usually as JD and Quay play. It's almost like football. Your quarterback, you're usually only as good as your quarterback plays. And I think our team is usually, is only as good as those two play. And that's not from an offensive standpoint or, they've got to take care of the ball. It's more of just them and their defensive pressure. When they really get out and they pressure the other team's point guard, we're usually pretty good, and they both were excellent at that on Saturday night.
Kind of picking back off of that, Coach, talking about Quay and the way he's just turned it around. 5 of the last 6 games, he's had double-digit points. He continues to be that focal point for you guys on the offense, as a point guard should be. Even though he's a newcomer to the program, I mean, what has he meant in terms of leadership on and off the floor?
Well, I think the biggest reason that we took Quay from day one, I mean, obviously he's a great player, but he's just a winner. He's a guy that every program he's been in, he's affected them in some way, some form or fashion, and it's usually from the winning side. And then he's just tough. He's hard-nosed, he's tough. I think what I've really tried to challenge Quay with is just becoming a better defender and being really consistent on that end of the floor. When he does that, we're an elite team, and we beat people like Oklahoma and Utah and those kinds of people. But just being consistent, I think no matter what program you're in, it's always different. Every place you go is different. The expectations are different. Maybe what you're asked to do is different. And, here I think he's, first time maybe someone's ever just asked him to be able to do everything. And, he's not a guy that's not for it. It's just habits, right?
Right.
You got to get into that habit of being able to play on both ends of the floor all the time. And he's getting better and better. The other night, as I said, he took a really, really huge stride forward. Challenged him pretty hard, and he responded. So, again, when him and JD are guarding like they did Saturday night and putting pressure on that ball, it's a good thing for the Bearcats.
So 3-3 in WAC play. You told me after the ball game Saturday you'd love for that to be a bit better, and I'm sure the guys, they agree as well. But not to dwell on it too much, I mean, just what could have went differently through those first 6 games?
You can't do that. I mean, the only thing I have a regret on right now is just that we lost that home game. As far as on the road, I mean, right now we're 2-2 on the road, and
right.
You being 2-2 on the road in a league is all you can ask for. There's not going to be many people that are going to win at Utah Valley or at Southern Utah for that matter. So us being 2-2 right now on the road that's not anything to be disappointed in or, to frown upon at all. It's just that home game, As a coach, those things always are hard to get over just because you feel like, could I have done something different to help our team? I thought we came out a little flat that night. I was a little disappointed in our crowd and the energy level when our guys walked out, and I was more disappointed in our guys for letting that kind of affect them. You go to New Mexico State, they got 5,000 people. You beat them by 15 on the road, and you come home, and you're like, okay, and you walk out, and the crowd just wasn't quite what I think we expected it to be. And that's no excuse. That's what I told our guys. It's no excuse. We have to get ourselves ready to go and motivated. That's what it's all about. And so I thought we were flat. Throughout that game in the first half, I looked up one time. There was like 9 minutes left in the first half, and it was 7-7, and it should have been like 20-7. And so, we were trying. At that point in time, we could have been building instead of letting them play with us. And then at halftime, it was an 8-point game, and then with 4 minutes to go, it was a 9-point game. The disappointment I have is that we just didn't. He hopped in a zone with 4 minutes to go in the game, and we didn't do a good job of executing. And and that's on me. I mean, we got to do a better job. I've got to help them a little more than what I did. And but the biggest thing you have to do is move on, and I thought we did. We turned the page. We came back Saturday night, and we're up 26 on Tarleton with 10 minutes to play. So our guys bounced back. I think they've proven thus far that they can come back and bounce back. But we just got to try to find a way to play really well on a Thursday, and we got to win a game on Thursday.
And we'll talk about that here in just a second. But I did want to get your input on one thing. There's something new with the Western Athletic Conference this year, the way they have seeded things out for seeding in the conference tournament coming up in March. I just wanted to get your thoughts on that. I don't know if you've delved into it a whole lot, but it's definitely a different dynamic in terms of preparing for certain opponents.
Well, I've expressed my opinion to the WAC. I don't know how much the WAC really cares right now about what Sam Houston thinks, obviously, us being gone in another 6 months. But I think it's pretty silly. And most people will say, well, why do you think it's silly? Because right now y'all are sitting at 1-2 if the season ended today because we beat Utah and Oklahoma. But I just, I'm not sure, for example, right now, I think our net's about 46 in the country out of 365, which is incredible. But it's just about winning games. I mean, that's really what it boils down to, is just winning basketball games. And at the end, you just whoever has the best record and whoever's won the most games is the team that deserves to get the better seed or the team that deserves to make the NCAA tournament. That's just my opinion. I know there's a lot of people that think that, it's a kind of a new and an improved idea, and, maybe it'll prevent us from having a log jam like we did last year where we were tied. I think 5 people were tied for second place or something. And maybe so. When it gets down to it at the end of the year, maybe that'll really help. But I just thought when it was all said and done, it was probably just a lot of stuff for nothing.
Right. Now let's talk about these games you got coming up. First, the big one on Thursday night against the rival, Stephen F. Austin. Just from your early preparation, what stands out to you about the Lumberjacks?
Well, they're the same team they always are. They're really good. They're very well coached. They're physical. They play hard. One of the better defensive teams in the country. Their defensive style is different than you play. You just don't play that style, and that's what makes them so hard to prepare for, is because you can't simulate it in practice, and then you don't see it like you didn't see it. No one else plays the way they do defensively. And just to kind of explain that to people that are coming to a game or watching it on TV on Thursday night, so they don't normally people either get in the gaps with a hand or you sit back in a gap and like a help. And they totally different. They're totally up past where everybody else is. And then if you go to screen, they literally stand on top of the screen. It's just a really weird defensive philosophy, but it works for them. And then when you're watching, you would think, well, just throw it over the guy's head every time to the basket and get a layup. And, it's a little easier to do that or say that than to do that because, number one, they put such great pressure on the ball. It's really hard for your guards to do those things. And then number two, they have a system where they rotate and they're prepared for people that do that. So it's just weird. It's a weird way to get ready for somebody to play, to play them. We have to do a few things different than we normally do. But we've done it for so many years now, and, it's just we got a few new guys. We got to get kind of incorporated in that and understand they don't really quite know what they're getting into yet, but by Wednesday or Thursday they will. And, it's an exciting game. It's always exciting for the fans. I know we'll have a good crowd on Thursday night for sure. And, hopefully we can go play well on a Thursday.
Now, from what I've seen from the matchups, again, folks, if you're just joining us, this is the Sam Houston Coaches Radio Show live from True Texas Barbecue inside HEB. You're going to have some good matchups for your guards on Thursday with Grant Powers and J-May. They're going to get to match up with guys like Latrell Jostle, Jalen Jackson-Posey, and AJ Cayuste. Defensively, what are you going to need out of them? Because I know defensively on the guard side it was a little slacking against Southern Utah before picking it up on Saturday. So what do you need out of them?
We just need to play like we did Saturday. That's all we need to do. Our guys know what they need to do. They just need to play hard and follow the formula. The formula has proven that it works, and you just gotta play hard. Got to get up in the gaps and make it hard for people to pass and make it hard for them to dribble. And great ball screen coverage. SFA is playing a little differently offensively than they have in the past. They've been very inside heavy the last couple of years and done a lot of high-low and throw the ball in. And this year they're more like us. They're a little more ball screen and roll and, doing some of those things, still throwing the ball inside, but just a little bit of a different offensive team than what they've had in the past. So, I think it's what we've been playing against. So it'll be a little bit easier, I hope, to prepare and get ready for Thursday.
So you just wrapped up your longest road trip until, I believe, the conference tournament. You get to come home for 3 straight. Like we said, the students are back for Thursday night. It's going to be a whiteout night. It's going to be a great crowd. Just what does it mean for you guys just to be back home finally?
It's always feels good to be home. We've had more flights than I can tell you this year, and just feels like all we've done is spend our time in the airport and traveling. It was really weird on Saturday. This last trip, we spent the first night at a hotel for 3 days, and then the second night we spent the night in that hotel for 2 days. And when I got ready to check out, I felt like I was leaving home. Like it was like, man, it's kind of hard to leave this place, even though it really wasn't. It was a really weird feeling. So, it's always it's better to be at home. There's no doubt everybody wins a lot more games at home. We feel good about being in our comfy, cozy place and having practice here and pregame here and all those things. And I'm excited because we've got 3 in a row, and this is the time that you got to make the most of that. You got to get some separation here, and we got to try to find a way to string some wins together. Here of late, it's kind of been win 1, loss 1, and lose 1, and so we've got to get where we can win a few in a row and get on a run, hopefully.
Coach, today was MLK Day, as everyone knows, a great leader who made a tremendous impact in everything you did. Have you drawn any just inspiration since you're the leader of this squad?
Absolutely. Just the idea of, I think, we all have people that I think maybe if we made a list of 5 people that you would like to spend time with, I know one of those 5 would be Martin Luther King Jr. for me. I know it would be one of the top 2 or 3 people that I would love to just spend some time with and talk to and, just to pick his brain a little bit about life and, those things that he obviously was going through at that time, but also the vision that he had for the future. And, I just think that we can all draw from that, not just from basketball, but life. That's just every day. We've got to understand those things and those opportunities and, and just treating everybody the same. I think that was maybe more than anything, that was what he stood for. And so, it's a special day for everyone. I don't have it memorized. It's one of my favorite quotes. My favorite quote, I put it on Twitter today, but it's, it just talks about adversity and, everybody's comfy and cozy, and everybody's really good when things are comfy and cozy, but when things get really, really tough and things get really, really hard, you find out who you really are. And, I think that's what Dr. King stood for more than anything.
Coach, I'll throw a couple fun ones your way before we get done here. So I asked Quay this last week, and I also asked Kaylee this last week. Just on those road trips, like you say, we're in a hotel all the time. We're in an airport all the time. Just we eat a lot. I've come to realize we have a lot of caloric intake on these trips. And I don't know if that's blaming Seth or Hayden or Payne about that, but have you had a favorite meal that you've just enjoyed? Because we've had a lot of repeats, like Olive Garden, Texas Roadhouse. Is there a favorite meal that you've just loved that we've had on the trips so far?
Man. Off the top of my head, I don't know if I have an answer for that one.
So it's all been good.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the one good thing about being the head coach. You get to pick where you want to eat. So a lot of those places are, I say that. I mean, sometimes they give me a few options, and they're like, hey, coach, what do you think about this, this, and this? And I'm like, sure, that sounds great. Let's do it. So I can't think of any one particular meal. A couple of the hotels that we've eaten at, I know one. The meal that we had at San Marcos at that Hilton Garden Inn, that meal on that Friday night. Mm-hmm. Do you remember that meal?
I wasn't with y'all on that one.
Oh, you missed it. It was a home cooked meal, and it was really, really, really good. Really good.
That was the one road trip I don't think I took with you guys.
Yeah, no, you missed it. It was the best. It was the best meal we've had thus far.
Well, it's unfortunate, but hey, I mean, I'll take your word for it.
No, it was good.
All right, now, last question here. I've given you a week to mull over this. It is a big ball game tonight for you and Cowboy Nation. Dallas versus Tampa Bay. You told me last week, and we shook on it, if Dallas wins the Super Bowl, you're buying everyone barbecue.
Absolutely.
Seth has already gone on record and said that's not going to happen after tonight. So
you got to understand, though, that's coming from Seth. Seth's a Giants fan.
This is true.
I mean, I know they did win a playoff game yesterday, but the Cowboys beat the Giants twice. So let's not – and I think we've beaten them like 20 times in a row. So let's not get the Giants involved in this by all means.
Yeah, you still being realistic and thinking Dallas doesn't get it tonight, or they have a shot?
No, I mean, you got it's game time. So, I got to kind of get rid of my realism and got to pull for the Cowboys. We're going to do it tonight.
All right.
We're going to pull it off.
All right, you heard it here first. We'll see. They kick at 7:15, so I'll try to get this going fast so you guys can go and enjoy the ball game.
You got Casey coming on here next.
Yes, I do. Yeah. So with that said, Coach, thank you for your time, and we will see you guys on Thursday for a big ball game against Stephen F. Austin. Y'all give it up for head coach Jason Hooten. We will step aside and take a break, and when we come back from men's basketball, junior forward Casey Iziagu joins us next. Here on the Sam Houston Coaches Radio Show, live from HEB.
At HEB, we know that game day is about more than the game itself. The taste of victory is unparalleled, but so is the taste of HEB jalapeno poppers hot off the grill. Seeing the best players in their prime is truly something to behold. So is an HEB Prime 1 burger that you grilled to perfection. For low game day headquarters, be apt to order curbside and start prepping for game day right away.
Curious about what real estate agents enjoy the most? It's about reminding our clients that dreams really do come true. RE/MAX is the #1 real estate company nationwide.
Athletics, available right now, right here in Huntsville, giving you the power to get closer to what you love, like, say, the Bearcats, and go farther through award-winning internet with 99.9% reliability, smart Wi-Fi 6 for whole home Wi-Fi coverage, and 24/7 customer service. Get closer and go farther. Call 1-866-9-OPTIMUM or sign up at optimum.com today. And go Bearcats!
You value your time. So does First Financial Bank. We know all time is precious. Me time, family time, play time. Important tasks like banking take away from that time. First Financial Bank's digital banking solutions place financial decisions at your fingertips in seconds. From personal banking to securing your financial wellness, visit ffin.com/your-time. See how you can take back your time. First Financial Bank, member FDIC.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here on the Sam Houston Coaches Radio Show, live from True Texas Barbecue in HEB. Hey, come on, let me hear from you. You doing good tonight? Ooh, great crowd, hot crowd tonight here inside HEB. There it is. Knew that was coming. Folks, one of the great things that the folks here at True Texas Barbecue are offering this month, it ends on January 27th, so you're going to want to go try it now. I said I was going to try it last week, but I ended up not, but I'm going to try it tonight. It is a Andy's Mint Chocolate Fudge Cobbler. Oh, that just sounds good when you say it. It's baked with Andy's Mint chocolate chips, and you can get it over there, over at the cashier's table for here at True Texas Barbecue inside HEB. Welcome back again on the show. Joining me now from men's basketball is the junior forward, Casey Iziagu, the big guy. Y'all give it up for Casey. Come on. Casey, how are you?
I'm doing good. It's been a long day, but I'm all right.
Hey, glad you were able to come on to the show tonight. Glad to have you. So, want to get a little background on you first, since this is your first year with the team. What made you want to play basketball? I mean, it helps that you're tall, but I'm sure there was other reasons.
Well, I was playing soccer for most of my life. My dad and my mom are from Africa, and in Africa, mostly it's just soccer. So I was playing soccer most of my life, and then after I had a couple of growth spurts, and shoes were not fitting me no more, like cleats. My mom was buying cleats every couple of weeks, and
wow.
my mom wasn't dealing with it no more. So then I started playing basketball for fun, and then people started looking at me like he could be good, and so I started taking it more seriously.
I mean, hey, there you go. So it worked out for you pretty well. It worked out for you pretty well.
Glad I made the choice.
Jumping from soccer to basketball. So you hail from Brampton, Ontario, Canada?
Yes, sir.
And just first off, what was it like growing up there? And what's some of your memories from playing ball?
It's a quiet town. It's not really busy. Like most of the time, like all the action's really in Toronto. It's like a suburb outside of Toronto.
Okay.
So I claim Brampton because that's where most of my life I spent there, and there wasn't really a lot of big memories playing basketball in Brampton, but it's where I started, and so that's why it means the most to me.
Now, started out at Kansas State. It was a
Yes,
very, very good program historically and currently. Just what did you learn from playing there just to help build your skills as a forward?
I learned a lot about that was the first time I've been exposed to defense for real. So I mean, I learned some from my first place, but Coach Weber, he really paid a lot of pertains to defense. So I learned a lot about it from there, and I learned a lot what it's like to be on the big stage for real, because that was a big time opportunity for me, and I learned what it takes and what I need to do to get better. So I'm blessed for the opportunity.
So when you had your first visit to Huntsville in Sam Houston, what stood out to you?
I really liked the coaching staff. Like everyone took their time to give their piece about me and what I need to do to improve to get better, where they see me in the program, what I can do, what I can excel on, and so that's what really brought me in here. And
what have you loved outside of that since being here at Sam Houston? Just the community and everything.
I've loved the fact that when I walk around, people are always asking me questions, friendly, or always most of the time when I walk up to people don't really they're kind of intimidated and don't really want to come up to me. But around here, people come up to me, they ask me questions, they smile, they want to know what I'm doing, what my life is like, and it's really nice.
So as the season's progressed, Casey, what have you been able to learn since you came here, and what are you still looking to work on as the season goes on?
I've learned a lot about defense. Coach Hooten practiced on his defense, so I've learned a lot about defense, and I've learned a lot what it means to work hard in every single possession and no possessions off, how tiring it can be when you actually lock in on the whole 40 minutes of the game. And what I'm hoping to improve on as the season goes on is how I can contribute more to the team, play a longer spurts, contribute more to the team, rebound better, stuff like that, so I can help my team progress.
So, like I said, you came over from Kansas State, Big 12 conference, a very powerful basketball conference. Over here to the WAC, I mean, what have you liked about the competition in the WAC so far since seeing 6 of the teams?
So far, I've liked that I haven't seen a drop-off. Every team is good. Coach told me that at the beginning of the season, but, it's more like you see it, you believe it more.
Yeah.
And, every team is good, and no matter no matter the team, no matter the night, every team is good. Every team brings it, and you got to be ready for everyone. So it's really impressed me.
Well, he moved a little bit closer to be able to hear you a little bit better. Your thoughts on getting to play for that man over there, Jason Hooten?
It's interesting because I say this as he's staring at me right now, but it's interesting because he pushes me every day. Like, I haven't had a coach. I've had coaches push me, but like every day, every second, he's pushing me to be the best that I can be because he sees something in me, and I really appreciate that because not a lot of people will be honest with me and tell me, hold me accountable to a higher standard, and he's done that every single day I've been here. So it's really been a lot to me.
So who in your life has been a big mentor to you in your basketball career, and how so?
My first real trainer, his name is David Cooper. He's been a real big mentor to me. He's really the person that made basketball a real serious thing to me. Like before him, I just thought it was fun. I never really considered playing college basketball. I never thought I had a chance, but he's really what opened my eyes to the whole sport and the whole game and how hard I need to work to make it there. So.
All right. I'm going to throw some rapid fire ones your way really quick if you don't mind.
No
What's been your favorite place that we've gotten to travel to so far? We've circumnavigated this country really well.
Favorite place? I don't know. I can't really give you a favorite place. I know we've been to Utah a lot. I can tell you that. Been there like 5 times. But favorite place? I don't really have one. All of them have just been cool places. I don't really have a favorite place.
Florida was fun. Utah, like you said,
been there.
We practically made it our home at this point, going there 4 times this year. But hey, nothing wrong with that. Every place has been fun.
Yeah,
and you guys make it. Make it very, very fun, especially when we win.
Mm-hmm.
Now, on these road trips, I talked to you a little bit before we came on the air. I've noticed you're quite the celebrity when it comes to being in the airport. I know it helps that you're 6'10", but everyone. In some airports, I know in Phoenix and I think in Florida, you got random people walked up to you, and everyone knows who you are, just like what Coach just said. Just what's your thoughts on that? Just kind of being that guy.
I don't really think I'm that guy yet. Hopefully, down the line, maybe I will be able to be that guy, and my autograph will mean a lot more to the fans and people. But it's nice to when people come up to me and smile and ask for pictures and stuff like that because I know it makes their day when I make their day. So. It's a big deal.
It's a great attitude to have. Mm-hmm. Who's the toughest team you've ever faced in your career?
Toughest team I've ever played was Baylor.
Baylor.
When they had those 3 guards, that was a juggernaut offense. That was good. It was tough.
It was good.
It was really tough.
All right. Now, if you could do your basketball career over again, do you wish you were just a little bit shorter so you could play the guard? Why or why not?
You caught me. It's funny because every big man wants to be like a guard, and every guard wants to be like a big man. That's what I've always been. Because all guards want to dunk and block shots. Me and Quay were talking about the other day. He said he wants to rack up a lot of block shots this year. I'm telling him that's not happening. But if I could, I would. You caught me. I would love to play guard. You know what I'm saying? The ball in my hand. I can pass. I've made some good assists. He's seen them. Coach smiling right there. He's seen. I made some good assists this year, so it would be fun.
Yeah.
It would be fun. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, there you go. See, because I think about this every time I look at the stat sheet when I'm preparing for a ball game.
Mm-hmm.
I think you and Gio obviously are the only ones that haven't taken a 3 this year.
Yeah.
Do you think we'll see one at some point? I think the only time theoretically that we could see one is if the shot clock's winding down and you find yourself outside the arc. But do you think it'll ever happen? Be careful because Coach is right there.
You got to choose your words carefully. I think towards the end of the year, you know what I'm saying, we're having a blowout game. Maybe I'll shoot that. Maybe I'll shoot the tray. I don't know. Maybe.
All right. I'll remember that. I'll remember that. So, I asked Quay this last week, and I just asked Coach this as well. We've had a good mix of meals on these trips. Very good ones.
Yeah.
Some okay ones. What's been your favorite that the guys have gone out and got?
You said meals?
I know we eat a lot.
Yeah, we do eat a lot, and I'm not really picky when it comes to food. Coach over here talking about I eat anything. But like I'm not really picky. I feel like I can't think that anything stands out like that.
I'll chat with you on the next road trip, and we'll get it then.
Yeah.
All good. All good. Do you have a favorite meal from back home in Canada?
It's not really Canadian. My parents make African dishes a lot, and it's called fufu, and I love it. Coach Mike made it for me one day. His grandma brought some and brought it over here one time. It was good, but yeah, it's called fufu.
What is it?
It's like dough, and then you dip it in a sauce, and after you dip it and eat it, it's interesting. People might not look as appealing, but it'll change your life. I promise you, it'll change your life.
I'll take your word for it. I'll take your word for it. So I asked Quay this last week because you and him are roommates on a lot of these road trips, and he said you are unintentionally funny. So I'm going to flip the question for you. What's Quay like as a roommate?
Quay, he walks around. He seems like a quiet guy, but he's a character. He's a character. Because we room all the time in the hotel trips, and people don't see he be making jokes. He be laughing. He be screaming sometimes. You wouldn't believe it, but he's a character too.
Interesting.
He's a character.
That makes a lot more sense now. Anyway, some more rapid fire your way. Do you have a favorite just music artist of all time?
All time, I like Polo G. Polo G is my favorite artist right now. I don't know about all time, like he's generational. Nah, but he's my favorite artist.
Okay.
That's what I listen to.
Favorite athlete growing up?
Favorite athlete growing up. When I was growing up, it was soccer. So my favorite athlete was Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
Okay.
He plays. Yeah, he was my favorite. He was my favorite guy when I was a little kid growing up. Favorite basketball player, it kind of changes because when I was a little younger, it was AD, but now AD be on some funny stuff now. I don't know, man. He be on some funny stuff. So I can't really go with Anthony Davis no more.
Okay.
I'm gonna say a little Joel Embiid right now.
Okay.
But yeah, that's what it is for me.
The Sixers are tearing it up right now. So
they got some good going on.
I don't blame you.
Now.
So as you may know, football is king here in the United States.
Yep.
Since you've been here, do you have a favorite NFL team that you've gravitated to?
No, I do not have a favorite NFL team. I don't really I know when I watch football, I know what's going on, but I don't really have a team.
Okay.
But I hear all the time the Cowboys this and the Cowboys that. So if I were to bandwagon one team, I'd go with the Cowboys.
0 for 5. We'll get somebody up here that's a Texans fan at some point, but I don't think that'll ever happen. All right, Casey, before I let you go, do you have anybody you want to give a big shout-out to?
I want to shout out my mom and dad because they, if it weren't for them, I wouldn't be in this situation right now because growing up, they put a lot of stuff aside because imagine being from another country and your kids telling you to pay thousands of dollars for basketball, it don't make sense.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And they took that chance on me, and I work hard every day because of them, and so they're a big inspiration to me. So they mean a lot.
All right, there you go. Y'all give it up for Casey Isiagu this evening.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming on, man.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to step aside and take another break. Joining me after the break from Sam Houston women's basketball, it's head coach Ravon Justice. Stick around, folks, as we're going to first pause for station identification and then come back here in a few moments. Here on the Sam Houston Coaches Radio Show.
This is the Bearcat Sports Radio Network on 101.7 KSAM Huntsville and online at ksam1017.com.
Eat 'em up cats. Are you looking to buy or sell real estate? Emblem Properties is here to help. We can help with residential, land, commercial, and even leasing of investment properties. I'm Sherry Barrett, the proud owner and broker of Emblem Properties, and we offer the customer service difference where our clients are number one. Emblem Properties focuses on you and your needs, not on our rankings. Reach out to Emblem Properties today at emblempro.com. Proud corporate sponsor of SHSU Athletics.
At H-E-B, we know that game day is about more than the game itself. The taste of victory is unparalleled, but so is the taste of H-E-B jalapeno poppers hot off the grill. Seeing the best players in their prime is truly something to behold. So is an H-E-B Prime 1 burger that you grilled to perfection. For low prices on all the things that make game day great and delicious, visit H-E-B, your official game day headquarters, or use the My H-E-B app, order curbside, and start prepping for game day right away.
When you open a crisp, cold Bud Light, you know game day is here.
Touchdown! You owe me $5.
We mean every sound. Enjoy responsibly. 2022 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
On the field or just on the go, UT Physicians Orthopedics is with you during life's unexpected stumbles. We offer comprehensive treatment options, on-site imaging, and personalized care. With locations across the greater Houston area, you can find care close to home. Visit utphysicians.com or call 888-4UT-DOCS to schedule an appointment today. Better healthcare starts with you. UT Physicians.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, back here on the Sam Houston Coaches Radio Show, live from True Texas Barbecue inside of H-E-B, continuing on now with the head coach of Sam Houston women's basketball, Ravon Justice. Y'all give it up for Coach Justice. Coach, as always, pleasure to have you here tonight. How are you?
I'm well. How about yourself?
Doing very well. Recovered from the trip?
Yes, still recovering. But
It was interesting. I mean, I didn't expect us to be on the same flight coming back home, and then I was like, is that Sam Houston women's basketball walking through the airport with us? I was like, that was pretty fun. That was pretty fun getting to come back with y'all. So just real quick, an opening statement from this last road trip, a couple of tough losses. Just your thoughts on how this last weekend went.
I think that the biggest thing with last week was it was definitely a learning point. We had to play without one of our starters. Lex went down at the Utah Tech game. So I'm trying to start a different lineup and just being on the road in an atmosphere that we're not used to and accustomed to was something that we had to adjust to. And, I think that moving forward we'll be better prepared for it. But we're definitely not happy with the outcome, but it's part of it.
Now, you kept pace with a very tough Southern Utah team. I've gotten to see them a few times whenever we're on the road and they're playing against us, or playing against the team that we're going to be playing against. In Cedar City, y'all played very well, but what needed to happen to be able to turn the tide in that ball game?
We won 3 quarters, and we didn't take care of the second quarter. And, we tell our kids all the time, you have to do enough to win basketball games, and we didn't do enough to win the basketball game. Being down 3 with a minute to go, you still didn't do enough to win a basketball game. So that's pretty much what happened.
Now, 3 of your returners were in double figures on Saturday. Batista knocking on the door of a double-double, who we'll have on the show after you. 13 points and 7 boards, but as a team, still 21 of 72 from the field. Just what adjustments do you guys need to make offensively going forward?
We probably need to make layups. That's a crucial part of basketball is making layups. And I think we missed 28 layups in that basketball game, and that's something we're not proud of. So moving forward, you got to make the easy bunnies because it just makes everything else harder.
Now, on the flip side of that, when I was looking at it and watched back part of the ball game, your defense locked down the Thunderbirds pretty well. You forced them to shoot 36% from the field, and that was a big bounce back from the Thursday night game against New Mexico State. So what attributes have you loved from your defense so far, and how do you guys build upon that?
Right now we're rebounding the ball at an elite level, so that's something we're proud of, leading with deflections. We only had 9 turnovers in that basketball game, So those are some things that they're getting really good at. We're just hoping that we can execute those turnovers into points on the other end of the floor.
Now, I mentioned your returners doing well on Saturday. Now, from your newcomers, what are you going to be looking forward to from them as the games start coming along more here in the WAC?
We definitely need China and Michaela Woods to step up and be a bigger threat on offense. I think that's something that we hadn't done well as a collective group. Is had everybody that can score and has proven to be scorers lock in the game and give us that as a collective group. I think, Maddie's getting back into rhythm. She struggled the first 2 games in conference, but I think she's getting back in rhythm. So having it present inside and having it present outside, will help us win some games.
Now, before we roll into what's coming up for you guys, I asked Coach this, and as many of y'all may know or may not know, so the WAC rolling out with this resume seating for you guys, it's both for the men's and the women's. I just wanted to get your thoughts on that, since it's a different look than you've been used to in the past.
Coach Hooten's has a 36, 38 net, so he's going to be quite fine. But the biggest part is that, it is different, and trying to make our kids understand the importance of that piece is something that, you don't want to focus on, but it's an important piece. So just making sure that they understand that whatever you do in conference doesn't really matter. You got to win some really big ball games.
Yeah.
Knock off some really good teams that's top of the conference to get that seeding that you want to have.
Now, looking at the ball games you got coming up, you're on the road in Stephenville against Tarleton on Thursday night, but then you get to come home and you play Utah Valley, who's had a struggling start to their season and in conference play as well. First, looking at Tarleton, what stands out about the Texans?
They've been in every ball game that they've played. I think that one thing about Tarleton that people don't realize is they don't give up. They took UTA last night to a 2-point game and end up, losing their end, but they fight the whole game, and that's something they do well at home is they fight to the end.
Now, looking at Utah Valley, as I said, it hasn't been a great start to conference play for them, but obviously you don't want to overlook any opponent that you're up against. How do you plan to attack against the Wolverines?
We plan to beat Tarleton first.
Right.
And then I think I focus on the game after that. Honestly, I hadn't even looked at Utah Valley.
Fair enough.
We want to put one game in front of the other. So.
Now, I mentioned this with Coach as well. Today being MLK Day, a great leader, tremendous impact in every single thing that he did. What inspiration have you drawn from his life just to be able to help you as the leader of women's basketball here at SAM?
The biggest thing we taught our kids today about MLK is, he gave everybody the opportunity to love in unconditional ways. And as a family and as a program, that's something we talk about all the time, is loving everybody for who they are, meeting everybody where they are. And so that's the inspiration we get from him.
Now, Coach, getting to be at home on Saturday, I know you got to worry about Thursday night's game first, but it's Saturday, you're in front of the home crowd. All the students are going to be back. Just, what does it mean for you guys just to be able to be back home?
It's important. I think that I've had, 4 games on the road already, so it'll be really good to be back home. But just to have that support, have our girls play for their home team, their hometown and things like that, but also have their families here. It's hard to get families out to southern Utah, New Mexico State, so just to have that family in the stands for somebody to play for their why would be important to us.
And to wrap it up, Coach, I asked Coach this at the end, so I'm going to ask you. I've given you a week to maybe change your mind about this.
The Cowboys are going to win tonight. We're going to be very confident about that success. If you don't watch, I don't know what else you'll be wasting your time on tonight at 7:15.
It's going to be a fun game. I'm sure I have my opinions. I'll set that aside, though, but
Please
thank you.
Do.
I will do my best. Coach, thank you for your time. Y'all give it up for head coach
Thank
Ravon
you so
Justice.
much.
All right, joining me next here on the show from women's basketball will be senior forward Madeline Bautista. She joins me after the break here on the Sam Houston Coaches Radio Show, live from True Texas Barbecue inside HEB.
Curious about what real estate agents enjoy the most? It's about reminding our clients that dreams really do come true. RE/MAX is the #1 real estate company nationwide. RE/MAX Prime Properties is a locally owned family business in Huntsville. Need a realtor knowledgeable in our area? Call one of our experienced agents and let us guide you home. RE/MAX Prime Properties is located at 1215 Financial Plaza, Huntsville, Texas, and is a proud partner of SHSU Athletics. Eat 'em up, Cats.
Bearcat fans, get game ready with Barefoot Campus Outfitter, your one-stop shop for all things Sam Houston State. Going to games, going to class, or hanging with friends, Barefoot's got you covered. Show your Bearcat pride with polos, caps, tees, novelty items, decals, and more. With new items arriving weekly, Barefoot Campus Outfitter is located across from the University on Sam Houston Avenue. See you soon.
For any of your shipping, faxing, copying, or notarizing needs, get on down to Pack and Ship. Big or small, they ship it all. Conveniently located right off 45 on Highway 30 next to Hobby Lobby. At Pack and Ship, there are no lines. They have a kind, experienced staff ready to help you. Pack and Ship, happily serving all residents of Walker County and the surrounding areas. Pack and Ship.
At HEB, we know that game day is about more than the game itself. The taste of victory is unparalleled, but so is the taste of HEB jalapeno poppers hot off the grill. Seeing the best players in their prime is truly something to behold. So is an HEB Prime 1 burger that you grilled to perfection. For low prices on all the things that make game day great and delicious, visit HEB, your official game day headquarters, or use the My HEB app to order curbside and start prepping for game day right away.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, back here on the Sam Houston Coaches Radio Show, live from True Texas Barbecue inside HEB. Hey, I do want to let you know, if you haven't tried the great folks here at True Texas Barbecue, it is a must. It is great. You need to come check it out. But if you're not able to just come out here and get it yourself, well, you have free 1-hour delivery using the Favor app from barbecue, burgers, everyday essentials. Favor's the easiest way to get the food here from True Texas Barbecue and fast. So check that out on the Favor app. I want to thank a lot of folks for coming out tonight. And if you're tuning in on the FM airwaves or on the YouTube stream, thanks for coming out. Zach Kaditz joining us tonight from Van Wagner. Thank you, Zach, for coming on out, as well to the coaches as well. And I see a lot of folks from the Bearcat Sports Network here tonight. A lot of great folks. Of course, they're not paying attention. Then again, when do they? But we got Chris, we got Eric, we got Kevin out here tonight, Kendall as well from athletics as well, and of course a big thank you to Ken Holland joining us tonight as well. All right, now that we got that out of the way, joining me now from Sam Houston women's basketball is senior forward Madeline Bautista. Yo, give it up for Maddie, come on. Maddie, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Great to have you on the show here tonight. So just want to get a little more background on you. You've been in the program for a good while, but for those who may not know who you are, just where you're from and what made you really want to gravitate to play basketball?
I transferred over here from Winter Park, Florida, and I wanted to just play basketball. It's kind of like an outlet for me.
Okay.
To take out my anger or just, you know, I'm an athletic person, so I've always been in athletics. So I just really like basketball. It was an outlet for me, and it's how I calm my nerves.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
So you played at Winter Park High School down in Florida. Just what was that like playing at the high school level?
My team wasn't the best, but I made out what I could, and then I was also able to get an offer to go to Daytona State College, which is my JUCO that I had transferred to Sam out of. And it's definitely different than how we play here, the intensity levels and the speed and things like that. But I had great experiences.
So to elaborate more on that, what was your experience like at Daytona State, and what skills were you able to craft there to be able to bring it over here to Sam?
At the JUCO level, it was like my main focus was just simple post moves, getting stronger, taking my time, which I'm still working on, and form shooting to get my shot because I wasn't able to shoot as much. Now I have a little bit of a mid-range, so.
There you go.
Yeah.
No, and I've seen it on display, so it's gotten really good. So when you had your first visit to Huntsville in Sam Houston, what was that experience like?
It was very welcoming. Like, Huntsville is small, but it was very welcoming and family-oriented. And the seniors that I had when I came on my visit were very nice, warming, lovable people. And they just made me feel like I had a home away from home, if that makes sense. Because I did travel a good distance.
Yes.
So it was good to know that I had family in Texas.
So talk to me about, you've been in the program for a good while. I mean, I think you've been here as long as I've been here at Sam Houston. Just what's it been like every season since you arrived here?
Definitely different. I feel like every year, because this is my 4th year. I'm going on my 4th year.
Mm-hmm.
And every year we've had newcomers. So I've had a different team each year. And it's like I was able to create bonds with different people and then also like learn different people's cultures and how they react to things and just create different relationships and bonds on the court and off the court. And I mean, it's nice to know like how different people play and then how they are off the court as well.
So as one of the leaders on this team, you being a senior, I mean, what drives you to continue to excel at your skills, and not only for yourself but to help your teammates as well?
The biggest thing I'll say is definitely my family, because I'm also a first gen. I graduated last August, so I'm a first gen. So they push me, they motivate me the most. And then also like you said, I've been here for numerous amounts of years, and I'm really like set on winning the conference tournament.
Yeah.
So I'm pushing myself, I'm pushing my teammates, learning to be a better leader than I have been, and just holding everybody accountable, including myself. And then also just being that person off the court that my teammates can come to if they need something or if they need to talk about anything as well.
That's good. That's very good. Now, I'm not trying to see. There you go. I'm not trying to look back too far, and I don't recall if I had you on the podcast when I hosted it to talk about this moment from last season. So it was a home game against Longwood last year, and I had the call on ESPN with Ken Holland. We won't talk about that. You jumped over me on that. It's all good. It was a very exciting moment. You had a buzzer beater win in that one. If you can remember, what was going on in your head as that play began to develop? One of your more signature moments as a Bearcat.
It's funny that you ask. Okay, so after we had got the rebound and Demaya was bringing it up the court, I honestly thought that she was going to shoot the basketball. So I was more prepared on just getting the rebound. So when she went and shot it, I was already in rebounding position. So I was just like, got to get the ball up. So, and I work on tip-ins a lot with my with one of our assistant coaches. So I just did what we work on, and it worked in our favor. I'll say it worked in our favor.
It really did. And, yes, you did. Yeah, you did. It was a great moment. I mean, just a personal thing for me. That was the first buzzer beater I ever got to call. So, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for that. Now, back to business. You got 2 games coming up this week. A great opportunity to get 2 wins. But first, you face Tarleton on Thursday. What's going to be key for you guys to get that win on the road?
Well, first of all, we have to listen to the game plan. We have to follow the game plan and execute it. We've kind of struggled with that these past few games, but if we keep being positive and we keep working hard like we're doing in practice and just carry it over into the game, into gameplay, and follow the keys to win and things like that, then I feel like we're going to do perfectly fine because we are a great team. We just need to follow what needs to be followed in order to get the wins that we need.
Now, what's it been like meshing with the new teammates that have come in? We brought in a lot of transfers this year. What has it been like helping them get assimilated into the program as one of the leaders on the team?
They're very coachable. They're coachable people. And, we hold everybody to a high standard because that's just how Coach Justice runs her program. And I feel like in the beginning it was a little tough because Justice's program is kind of tough to maneuver if you're new. But all of them, they're still buying in, and it's a learning curve for a lot of them. But I feel like if they just listen and do what they're being asked or do what they're being told, whether it's from a returner, a captain, or any of the coaching staff, then I feel like when they're bought in, what needs to be done will get done.
All right, I'm going to throw some rapid-fire ones your way. What's been your favorite memory as a Bearcat so far?
Ooh. My favorite memory was, I'm going to have to say my first year here.
Okay.
Where we had played SFA, and it was kind of a big game for me just because it was my first year and I didn't have a lot of playing time or whatnot. And when I had I had scored the first 2 points, and then that made us go on a run, and we ended up winning that home game. So that's one of my favorites.
I think I remember that one. Yeah.
No. It was a good year.
It's always a great memory when you beat the Lumberjacks or Lady Jacks. It's always a great memory when you beat them. Who's been a big motivator or inspiration in your life?
I have to say my mom. My mom definitely. I talk to her every single day. Well, I try to talk to her every single day because she's obviously in Florida. I'm in Texas.
Right.
And she's just done a lot for me. She's a very strong woman, so she's done a lot for me, pushes me to be the best person that I can be. And, yeah, I just love her.
There you go.
Yeah,
That's good. Now, I think our eyes are on the Cowboys game right now because they have that on the TV. I can very much tell.
That's her favorite. That's her favorite team.
Oh, I know. I know. Your thoughts on getting to play for head coach Ravon Justice?
Good job, man. My thoughts on getting to play for Ravon Justice.
Yes.
I will say she is a great person. She's an even better coach. She definitely pushes me to be the best that I can be. She's like a mom away. Like, she's like a second mom to me.
Okay.
And she watches over me, like, off the court. And on the court, she tells me, like, she's honest. So if I do something or mess up or something, like, she's honest about it. She's like, get it together. So I have to get it together. So, yeah, but she's a great person. I love playing for her.
That's good.
Definitely improved.
You're doing a great job, Coach.
Got here.
You're doing a great job. So, more rapid-fire ones your way. What's been one of your favorite places that y'all have gotten to travel to this year?
gonna say Utah just because I'm a scenery person.
Okay.
And I really liked how the mountains looked with the sunset
Oh,
and the sunrise and things. Yeah.
It's so pretty there.
It is very beautiful.
We've gone there 5 times this year, but I've once with football, 4 times with men's basketball, but it's gorgeous there.
Yeah, it is very beautiful.
Be sad after this year we don't get to go back, but it's all good. It's all good. Let me see here. Since being in Huntsville, I asked this to Kaylee last week, and she had to be really careful. She said Cane's was the answer to this question. Since being in Huntsville, where has been your go-to restaurant? I know they try to keep you guys on a strict diet, but I know every now and then you get to treat yourself. But what's been your place?
Me personally, I'm gonna just say Whataburger, and only from a certain time, which is 11 to 11, because I only like the honey butter chicken biscuit. I don't really eat anything else. So, yeah, I'm gonna say Whataburger.
My producer, I think, agrees with you.
Yeah.
It is really good, but I'm never out late enough or up early enough, and if I am, I'm already at work. So I have never tried it, though.
Yeah, it's good. I usually get it like around 10:50.
Okay.
Right? Yeah.
Okay.
A.M.
A.M. Probably a good thing, because eating after 10 o'clock at night's not the best. But what kind of music do you like to listen to before a ball game?
I usually listen to like R&B, but recently I've been listening to a lot of gospel music to calm my nerves and just focus on what needs to be focused on.
So a little Kirk Franklin, some the Winans, stuff like that. That's good. That's good. Do you have a favorite artist of all time?
I do not.
Do not.
Not anymore.
Fair enough.
Not anymore. I used to, but not anymore.
Not anymore. All right, that's fair.
My music choice kind of changed a little bit, so not anymore.
I got you. I got you. I'll get you one next week, Coach. Don't worry. Favorite athlete growing up?
I actually don't have one. I'm a very athletic person, but I've never really watched athletics. So yeah, I'm just good at being an athlete.
There you go. So do you have a favorite basketball team that you've gravitated to? NBA, WNBA?
You want to embarrass me? No, just kidding.
Okay.
No, I don't.
You don't?
I do not.
Fair enough. Hey, it's not everyone's. It doesn't always float your boat. So hey, it makes sense. So all right, Maddie. Before I let you go, anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Shout out to my mom. I love you.
That's it. There you go. All right, y'all give it up for Madeline Bautista here tonight. Maddie, thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, folks, we'll step aside and take one more break. I'll wrap things up when we come back with what's coming up for the Bearcats here on the Sam Houston Coaches Radio Show.
When you open a crisp, cold Bud Light, you know game day is here.
You owe me $5.
We mean every sound. Enjoy responsibly. 2022 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
On the field or just on the go, UT Physicians Orthopedics is with you during life's unexpected stumbles. We offer comprehensive treatment options, on-site imaging, and personalized care. With locations across the greater Houston area, you can find care close to home. Visit utphysicians.com or call 888-4UT-DOCS to schedule an appointment today. Better healthcare starts with you. UT Physicians.
All right, folks, final segment. Going to get some laundry out of the way so that you guys can go enjoy whatever that ball game is that's going on tonight. I don't know. I don't really care who wins that one, but go Tom Brady and the Bucs. Either way, here's what's coming up for the Bearcats coming up over the next week or so. We got 2 ball games on Thursday night, folks. One at home, a big one for the Bearcats, taking on Stephen F. Austin. Stephen F. Austin, oddly enough, has had a really hot start to conference play. So the Bearcats are going to look to knock them off on Thursday night at Johnson Coliseum. Folks, wear your white. It is whiteout night, so it is going to be a fun ball game. 6:30 p.m. tip-off. I'll have the call on the Bearcat Sports Radio Network at 6 o'clock in that ball game on Thursday. The women are going to be on the road in Stephenville taking on Tarleton. So if you can make the trip to Stephenville, go out there, support the ladies as they take on the Texans. That game tips off at 6 p.m. If you can't make it out to Stephenville, of course, you can watch the game on ESPN+. And then coming up on Saturday, it's a doubleheader at Johnson Coliseum. It's going to be a fun ball game as the Sam Houston women will face Utah Valley. That game, I believe, tips off at 2 o'clock. Indeed, it does. That game on ESPN+, but you can come on out to the ball game and enjoy it. And then the men will face the UTRGV Vaqueros at 4:30 p.m. on Saturday. So a lot of fun ball games coming up this week. Come on out to Johnson Coliseum when the men's and women's teams are in town. You will not want to miss it. You will have a lot of fun. I can guarantee it. And that was the story tonight from True Texas Barbecue. Thank you, everybody, for coming on out, and thank you for watching and listening. And don't forget to join us again next week. It's going to be another fun show. We'll have both head coaches, as always, as well as 2 players from both men's and women's basketball. Y'all have a great rest of your Monday evening, and we will see you next week. Good night. God bless, and so long here from HEB, and go Buccaneers.
Hey y'all, Aaron Watson here. It's great to be back on stage performing, and I'm back to let you know about First Financial Bank's Swipe to Win promotion. From now until December 31st, 2022, with every use of your First Financial Visa debit card, you will be entered into a drawing for a $49,500 certificate towards the purchase of a new vehicle. It's as simple as that. Start swiping today. No purchase necessary. Visit ffin.com/sweepstakes for official entry rules. First Financial Bank, member FDIC.
At HEB, we know that game day is about more than the game itself. The taste of victory is unparalleled, but so is the taste of HEB jalapeno poppers hot off the grill. Seeing the best players in their prime is truly something to behold. So is an HEB Prime 1 burger that you grilled to perfection. For low prices on all the things that make game day great and delicious, visit HEB, your official game day headquarters, or use the My HEB app to order curbside and start prepping for game day right away.
This has been the Sam Houston Coaches Show, presented by HEB. We invite you to be a part of the live audience at True Texas Barbecue next Monday evening. On behalf of Carlos Zimmerman and 101.7 KSAM, thanks for listening. And eat 'em up, cats.